Today we're making a Y tree, and it'll look something like this. First you start out with a thicker line because trunks are thick. And then you do a smaller line here, smaller line here, a smaller line here, and you just don't want it to go like if you go like this, you see how it doesn't really look like a tree. You're gonna have to fill that in so it kind of looks combined. Then a Y, 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 Y. You get them smaller every time. It'll be like a medium size. And you're gonna get to be like this. And then if you want to add more, you could add one, let's say here, 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 and here. Let's say one like that, and I'll do one right here. There. I think that looks done. Do you?
Let's review what Sawyer has just taught us. We're going to start with the trunk. And he said that we want to make a very thick line. So what we do is we add 2 lines next to each other and fill this in so that there's no white spots. This lower half becomes the lower half of the Y. We're going to go up and actually make this into the letter Y. But this time, our branches at the top are going to be a little thinner. They're not going to be as thick as what we started with. So I draw my lines a little closer together and color those in the same. Out at the edges here, we're going to turn this into the base of the Y and this into the top of the Y. Again, making this a little thinner. Trees are a lot like our hands. When we look at our hand, we have our thick wrists and it goes out to our thin branches. So another Y out here, color that in. And then we can even go out to a tiny little Y if we'd like. Maybe we add that on all of these. To make this tree a little bit more interesting, I'm going to add Ys wherever I want. So maybe I'm going to add one out here and add my thin Y out here and maybe even just one tiny one here. I can add one coming down here. Now this is really close to the trunk, so this is probably going to be a thicker Y to begin with. Branch out to thinner Ys, but I probably could go one step further with both of those as well. I'll continue adding as many Ys as I feel like to complete my tree. Let's make our Y tree on a different medium, using a different medium. Today I'm going to use construction paper crayons and black construction paper. So we're going to make this tree appear like it's in the dark. We'll start out the same way, adding our thick trunk. So 2 lines that are somewhat far apart and coloring it all in. I made sure not to go all the way down to the ground with this one. I wanted a little space below. After I colored it in, I made sure that there was no black spots in this case. Sometimes I say white spots. Now I'm going to make the letter Y out of this. These are going to be medium-sized branches. Again, I'll color these in, make them medium size, and work my way out with my Y tree. Remember how we did that? We added the Y on top of every branch. The farther out we got, the smaller the branches get. I added my branches until I felt like it was nice and filled up. Now I'm going to imagine that there is a light source. I'm going to place a light source up here in the corner. In this light source, or in this picture, I'm going to choose the light source to be a crescent moon. So it kind of looks like the letter C up in the sky. I'm going to imagine that this light is shining down on my tree. If it's shining down on my tree, I'm going to show the light reflecting off my tree. So look at this. My light source is here. It shines down on this side of my trunk. My light source is here. I'm going to start adding the light source, or the reflection, on the left side, because that's what side my branch, or my moon is on, of all of my branches. Notice I'm not doing anything on the right side, only on the same side as my moon. And I'll go through this and do this to all of my branches to show that the light is shining down on my tree. All right, I have my light source, all of my light added onto my tree. Now I'm going to add the ground. We'll start by adding or choosing 3 colors, and I'm going to create a pattern. We've mostly used vertical lines and diagonal lines on our tree. For the lower half, I want to use horizontal lines, and I'm going to use 3 colors to do that with. First, I'm going to add the horizon line. The horizon line is what separates the sky and the ground. So I will do that back here. Now this is just a line. I'm doing a pretty thin line. You can do a straight line, or maybe your line is curvy. Either way is fine. So that was purple. I'm going to use some orange. So I'll make my thin line again. Coming across here, coming up, just like that. And then I'll use my yellow. Thin line. Notice my lines are right next to each other. I don't want any of the black to show because that is the sky. Once I have my 3, I have my A, B, C pattern, I'm going to now add medium size lines. So I'm making my line thicker this time. And I'm going to add a purple medium-sized line, and orange, because that's my B, A, B, a medium-sized line. And then the last one is going to be my yellow. So I'll add the medium-sized yellow as well. Now the last part of this, I'm going to increase to thick lines. Starting with my pattern again, A, B, C, A, B, C. Here's my A color again. And this is going to be a very thick line. Because of where I ended up, this thick line is going to pretty much go all the way down to the bottom. Oh, I do have that one little curve down here, so maybe I'll add a little bit of my orange as well. Right like this. On yours, you might be able to add your ABC another time. So yours might have the orange, yellow again, and you might even have room to go on to purple again. But you'll add your ABC pattern with your horizontal lines. In the background, that's up by the horizon line, it's going to be thin lines, then medium lines, then thick lines the closer you get down. Your finished project will look something like this.